Oh, yes, lamb chop. It is amazing when we look out into the stars at night. Golly gee, I get as fascinated as you do. That's why I wear this big pendant. This is my astrology wheel. You like that? Yeah. That astrology wheel represents the cosmos. All above us, the stars spin. Like, look back here at my zodiac wheel. Do you see that? Okay. Right when you're born, above you in the sky is this big wheel. All the stars are on it. And it tells us all about our lives. Isn't that amazing? Yes, it is amazing. Oh, well, hello, Tubies. It's Psychic Bob. Well, I am here visiting with my little buddy Lamb Chop. And golly gee, we are so excited. We're talking about astrology. And we welcome you to Monday's show. Welcome to our astrology forecast. Looks like we got some people out here. Look at that. Oh, there's Baroness Kolobobs. She's our moderator today. Hey, Baroness Kolobobs. Good to see you. What is a moderator? A moderator is here to help us with our show. She's going to help us with our chat. If you make donations, she's going to help sort that. If I miss your question, she's going to help with that. So you can call on Baroness Kolobobs. She's got the blue wrench in our chat to help you. Thank you for your service tonight, Baroness. Good to see you. Oh my gosh, look, there's Stardust C is here. Oh, Amelia Mattis. There's Robert Stevens. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I see Kim Osborne. Hey, Kim. Look what I took this afternoon, Kim. I took my Ricola. Thank you, Kim. I love it. Oh my gosh, there's Chanel Underwood. Well, there's Bela Claire. There's Simba all the way from Germany. Yes. What's that? Yes, people in Germany can see the stars also. It's not just over your house. Well, Simba, my little lamb here, Lamb Chop, he said, can Simba see the stars in Germany? I said, yes. And he says, well, there must be an awful big wheel if it goes from America to Germany. It is an awful big wheel. That zodiac wheel covers the entire planet. Yes, it does. Oh my gosh. Oh, look, there's Lady Bree is here. Oh, and she's got some astrology symbols. Thank you. There's Flying Light is here. Oh my gosh, this is great. Oh, hi, Kim. I do love licorice. I meant to tell you that. Oh, thank you. She's sending us some more throat drops because you know how Psychic Bob loses his voice and talks so much. I love these. Oh, I'm not being endorsed by Ricola, but I love them. They're these wonderful. Kim Osborne got these for me. They're lemon mint throat drops. And I also have some that are honey. I like them both, really. It's all delicious. What's that? I suppose you could have one to eat. Do you want one? Let me show them to you. Hold on. Let's get one out here for you. There where they can see they come. They're individually wrapped. Oh, no. You got to take the wrapper off before you start licking it. Here, I'll get it ready for you. In fact, why don't you go over there and sit down? You can sip on the hair. I'll put that over by your chair there, and you can watch the stars while we're talking. Okay, there you go. All right, very good, Lamb Chop. Jimmy's, oh my gosh, it is so good to be here with you. Well, welcome to Astrology Monday. I tell you, I love this. This is our time, to get together. Monday is my day off, and I've had such a fun day. Baroness Kolobobs and I went out shopping today. That's right. We had shopping. We went shopping and had a lot of fun. And, I was looking at stuff because I'm renovating my house. I was looking at some carpets today and some vases and different little things. But, I ended up saying, you know what? I really don't need more junk in my house. And I came home. Thank God I got some control. Anyways, I thought you'd like to see my astrology clothing today. I found one of my shirts. Somebody has too much junk in this house. I'm always losing things. Well, look at my shirt. I haven't worn this in a long, long time here. Some of you may remember this, have seen it. This is my Aquarius astrology shirt. See down there it says Aquarius? It's all done in gold and it's got little beaded stars. And this is a guy who's standing and he's got a jar of water on his shoulder and he's pouring the water. And that's the sign of the water bearer. The symbol of Aquarius is the water bearer in astrology or in the zodiac. And I'm wearing this wonderful necklace. This is a vintage piece from the 1970s, and it was a gift from my friend Danny Massey. Danny, if you're watching tonight, I am still wearing this and loving it. You got it last year for me, and I just love it. I wear it all the time. Isn't that beautiful? It's got the wheel. It's like the wheel back here, but it's in a pendant form. Isn't that cool with all the zodiac signs and the glyphs? It's done in pewter. It's on the original chain. Back in the 1970s, these big chains were all the style. Some of you may remember. I lived through the 70s. I remember seeing all this stuff. I was a kid then, but I remember people wearing it. And now, look, I got my big astrology shirt, and I got my pendant of the zodiac. And, I'm wearing today also, you ask always about my jewelry. I've got my English flag on the flag of England, and then a baronial crown, because I am actually these days an actual British baron. I'm a titled member of the nobility from the United Kingdom. And my title is the Baron of Perivale. So, anyways, I'm so glad you guys are here. Kim Osborne says, I want a shirt like that, but Pisces, that's cool. How about you, Lady Cole? If I can find you one of these shirts for you, Kim, and also for Cole, I'll get y'all one. I got to tell you, I found this on eBay a few years ago, and I've not been able to find one like it since. But it's hard to see on camera, but the stars are actually rhinestones. They're like embedded in, they're stitched in. And on the back, well, I can't take all this up, but on the back, it's got a big water sign on the back of it. So the glyph of Aquarius is the waves, the water with waves, Baroness Kolobov says, yes, I like it. I'll wear it for a nightie. She's already decided to move in on my wardrobe and take everything. I think she's getting a few Gucci shirts and some Louis Vuitton shirts, and now she wants my astrology clothes. That's all right. It gives me more chance to go shop and buy new clothing if she steals it all. Oh, my gosh. She says, I'm good, baby. I got a collection of your Louis Vuitton and Gucci. She does. She's already claimed all my Gucci clothes. Well, it is so fun to be here with you. And I want to just say, first of all, thank you. Thank you to all of you who came out to yesterday's show. Last night, it was Sunday. We did a live stream event. We did Sunday night messages from the spirit world. And I want to say thank you to all of you who stuck with me despite all the technical glitches. We got through and had a great show, Levi, Kolobobs, Levi needs to have a little chit chat from you. Levi says, witches and astrologers end up in hell. Read Witchcraft, Exploring the World of Wicca by Hawkins. Levi, I know you believe that, but you need to know the lives of the people who study astrology. Astrology is what led to our modern day science of astronomy, And so Levi, Kola, don't ban him yet. We're going to let him learn something tonight. Levi, I invite you, rather than to come here and attack us, why don't you stay and see if you could learn something? And Levi, I want to talk to you because I think you're raising a question that needs to be discussed, okay? Astrology, okay, and Wicca honor God. Why? Because don't you as a Christian believe that God created all the cosmos? Well, as a Wiccan, I believe that the gods created the cosmos. Father God, Mother God, and all that is existing has a pattern to it. The divine, God, however you want to define God, we'll just say the divine. We call it God in the Christian term. God speaks to us through all the creation. Now, some people say you worship the stars. We don't worship the stars, but we do see a message from the higher power. The higher power communes with us through signs and symbols. And so many years ago, there were ancient wise men who saw the stars and saw that God spoke to them. And so astrology came to be. Do you know when Jesus was born, the first people to officially visit him were the three wise men They were listed in the Bible as astrologers. They studied the signs of the stars, and they knew from astrology, all right, listen up, Levi. They knew from astrology that the stars predicted that a great and powerful king, the king of Israel, would be coming to earth. They knew ahead of the rest of the world. So God, in his human form, received them so that they might bring their gifts of frankincense, gold, and myrrh. You see? So it was astrology. Jesus never condemned them. In fact, those astrologers honored the Christ. There was no church at the time he was a baby. They went back, they continued their lives of doing astrology, and they got a blessing from heaven. So I know that book that you're reading denounces us, but honestly, there's a lot of good that comes from astrology. Astrology is what pointed to the Christ. And if you say, well, you renounce God or you're an enemy of God, I am an enemy of nobody. I used to be Catholic, and then I became Wiccan and spiritualist. And honestly, I think that God exists in all the religions, but you have to seek God. And I seek God every day. I pray. I have great faith. And a lot of people here have sat with me, and I've given them great help on their lives. My life is devoted to spiritual life. Baroness Kolobob says, Jesus was a seer. He had clairvoyance. That is absolutely true. So, Levi, I just invite you, instead of attacking me, why don't you stay and visit and learn what we can share with you tonight? I'm going to, Kolobobs, don't ban him. I'm going to let him stay. Unless he attacks people in the chat. He's welcome here. Because you know what, Levi? I believe that your truth and my truth are so much more closer than you realize. Now, when you say that people end up in hell, yeah, maybe some people do because they have a hellish consciousness. In the spiritualist church that I used to go to, they said, how you live determines how you are in spirit. Every day you're moving your mind and your consciousness closer to God or further away. And so when you have judgment, you have hatred, your hostility and aggressiveness, like Levi, no offense, but you came here tonight with an aggressive attitude. Is that godly? Does that make you feel, do you feel peaceful or do you feel agitated? Because it sounds like you're kind of agitated. That's not a place of peace. Do you know in the Wiccan religion, we believe that when we align ourselves with the creation of God, when we commune with the stars, the sun, the moon, our deities, our God, our higher power speaks to us, and we move closer into communion. So I am inviting you today to stay here and have communion with us. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. We welcome you here as long as you are not attacking anybody. Is he still here or is he left? Anybody see him in the chat? Anybody who knows me, a lot of people here know me, will tell you I've been doing psychic work for over 30 years. And my whole life is devoted to spiritual truth and knowledge and power of the spirit. I've pulled many people from the edge of the brink, and they've come back into light and life. Now, you might say only Christianity can do it. I believe Christianity helps a lot of people. I honor the Christ. The Christ is welcome in my house. In fact, I have a picture of Jesus over by my front door. So, in the spiritual church, we say it's deeds, not creeds. When you die, you will stand before God. I had a near-death experience. I experienced no hatred or judgment, but I did judge myself. And I learned all the good and all the bad that I did in this life. PsychicBob's not a perfect saint either. None of us are. But the mercy and the compassion of the divine received me into the light. And I am loved. We are loved by God. You are loved. Let that love of God permeate you. I think your challenge, Levi, is you're focusing on the judgments of God. And the truth is, God doesn't judge. I know the Bible says God judges, but really what he's talking about, when we talk about the judgment of God, we're talking about our own self-judgment. You see? So I invite you, Levi, to stay and kind of learn our way. You know, we Wiccans welcome you. We spiritualists welcome you. I know I probably wouldn't be so welcome in your church, especially wearing my astrology jewelry. But you're welcome here, and you can wear your cross. A lot of people here wear crosses. I even wear crosses sometimes. Baroness Kolobobs wears a cross. She says, I'm Wiccan, but I wear a gold necklace with a cross. Our truths are much closer than you know. Well, anyways, enough of me being on my soapbox. I want to say thank you for all of you being here. And if Levi, if you want to stay and learn, we welcome you. Today, we're talking about astrology. What is going on in the stars? And I do want to say thank you to all of you who've been coming out this week and donating to the channel, supporting my work as a psychic and as an astrologer. And I love all of you. Thank you. And Levi, PsychicBob loves you too. And I really mean that, you know. So there you go. Well, anyways, I tell you, this is an interesting week in astrology. We have a lot of powerful transits going on. We really do. And I thought we'd take a look at all that tonight. By the way, as I was mentioning, it's my day off. And so tonight I'm not doing private psychic readings, but I will do astrology questions at the end. So just hold your questions. I mean, you can ask them now. I may, periodically take a little break and answer questions as we go through. But we're going to look at all the major transits. Now, this astrology forecast is for today, Monday, January the 10th, 2022 through Sunday, January the 16th, 2022. So Monday through Sunday, the 10th through the 16th of January, okay? And I got a letter last week. Somebody said, well, Bob, who was that astrology forecast? Which signs? This is for all 12 zodiac signs. So no matter what your sign is, this report affects you. These are the transits that are moving through the massive astrology wheel, and all of us are affected by it. That's the kind of the daily snapshot of what's going on over the whole earth, okay? So welcome, Levi. Now, Levi, you may not understand some of the terms I'm going to use tonight, but I'll try to make it as simple as I can, because the fact is astrology is older than the Christian church, and I wouldn't expect you to know our language, but I'll help you tonight, okay? Because we want you to learn too and to be welcome here. Hi, City of Shadow Seas, thank you for your donation. God bless you. $4.99. Yo, Bob, I wear a Celtic cross for my sea god, Manan. Oh, I love that. Yes, I have a Celtic cross also. I'm not wearing it tonight, but I do. I love the Celtic cross. Celtic cross is an interesting symbol because it's a pagan symbol and a Christian symbol. And in Ireland, as you may know this, Samantha, the early Catholic or Christian church in Ireland had a lot of pagan elements to it. So it was like half pagan, half Christian. And I like to say the best of both worlds got combined in the early Irish or Celtic churches. A lot of that has been lost today, but it was there at one point. And I think I know pagans also who wear the Celtic cross. Queen Kolobobs or Baroness Kolobobs wears a Celtic cross also, So, yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's wonderful, I hope Levi's here. Levi, if you're here, let us know you're here so we can answer questions for you tonight. Everybody, you can help answer questions for Levi, okay? Baroness Kolobob says, my Bob got me a lovely Celtic cross. I love it, don't I, Bob? Except I lost it. Oh, it's still in your room there. You didn't really lose it. I know it. I'll find it later, okay? Psychically. All right. It's behind some books. I see a stack of books. It's behind that. That's where it is. Okay. So we got to talk about astrology because PsychicBob gets on 20 different subjects. And we will do astrology questions tonight too. So thank you, Samantha, for your donation. Blessings to you. Anybody wants to donate, we're always happy to receive it. And I will answer your questions tonight. Astrology. I'm not doing psychic readings, but I'll answer astrology questions. If you want to throw a little ka-ching my way, it never hurts me. And I'm always appreciative of it, So what do we got going? Well, it's Monday, January the 11th. All right, today we're starting off with our sun in the sign of Capricorn. We've got our moon in Taurus. We've got our moon square Pluto. We've got Mercury conjunct Saturn and Mercury square Uranus. What does all that mean? Well, our sun in Capricorn is giving us a lot of that earth energy. I've been feeling very balanced and focused today, and that's that Capricorn sun. And then we've got our moon in Taurus, which is a balanced earth energy. So this is a day where you maybe feel drawn to have nurturing stuff, warm food and warm blankets. Earth energy makes us want to indulge in a little luxury. I went shopping today and, I bought a new blanket today. I did buy that. I'll show that to you guys tomorrow. But, like that earth energy makes you want to be homey a lot of times and stay home and be cozy. So that energy is emotion. Now, we've got our moon square Pluto today, which enhances, it makes it a little challenging to look at the far distance. Today is one of those days where it's kind of like you just want to keep it close to home. Keep focused on just the here and now, okay? We've got Mercury square Uranus, which means that today people may be a little oversensitive or just running their mouth or may not be, very kind in their speech, And so we got to give a lot of leeway to people and overlook a lot of stuff today. So today it's all about earth energy. It's about being at home, focusing on material comforts, staying out of conflict. You may not feel like you can see what's coming down the road, and don't feel bad about that. Moon square Pluto makes us sometimes feel, disconnected from, our longer term goals. Okay. But don't let it scare you or upset you. Just be about the here and now today. That's what you want to focus on. Be present in your life here and now. Don't get caught up in 10 years from now and what's coming and all this fear, because there's so much fear in the world. We want to just be about here and now and give yourself a little luxury today. Okay. Be a little self-indulgent. It won't hurt once in a while. All right. So that's Monday. By the way, I also want to wish a happy birthday to our Capricorn babies. We're in the sun sign of Capricorn until January 19th or 20th? 20th, I think we roll over into Aquarius. So happy birthday to all of our Capricorns. And we welcome you, is Levi still here? Anybody see him? Levi, we're curious when your birthday is. I'll tell you what your sign is, okay? If you're born right now this month, you might be a Capricorn. You could be an Aquarius, depending on the date. So, yeah, if Levi's here, let's find out what his sign is. All right, we're going into Tuesday. Well, what's going on tomorrow? Let's get the edge on that. Well, we still got our moon in Taurus, okay? That's a earthy energy. We've got our moon square Mercury, moon trine Venus, moon conjunct Uranus, and Mars square Neptune. What does this mean? Tomorrow is our love day. Woo! It's a day for romance. I'll tell you why. That moon in Taurus makes us all feel earthy and sensual. That moon square Mercury means you might get a little tongue-tied, but I think it will come across as shyness and flirtation. We've got our moon trine Venus. This is the big one today, or for tomorrow. Moon trine Venus opens up feelings of love, romance, feeling good, feeling sensual. Ooh, with that moon in Taurus and that moon trine Venus, you're going to look good. You're going to be sexy. It's all about that tomorrow. And we got the moon conjunct Uranus, which means you could have a sudden whirlwind romance break out. You just go down straight thinking not anything about love, and boom, you meet that special someone. Eyes lock, and it's love at first sight. That is the energy for tomorrow. Be open to flirtation. Be open to sensuality. Even if you don't want a relationship, be open to love of self tomorrow, because the moon conjunct Venus, moon trine Venus gives you power for self-love as well, okay? And we've got that Mars square Neptune. What that means is that Neptune's the planet of mysticism, Mars square means you may not be feeling mystical. You might be just down in the here and now, and that's okay too. And sometimes Mars, when that planet comes in, it brings in a little bit of tension. So that's why I'm saying you might have a little of that flirtation, that, you know, how romance, you flirt and there's a little back and forth energy. Well, that's all about Tuesday. It's all about love on Tuesday. Love, flirtation, feeling good, feeling sexy. Hey, you know, woo, put on your best outfit tomorrow and just name it and claim. What did we say the other day? Name it and claim it, right? Tomorrow you're going to claim, all y'all are going to claim loving yourselves and being the best form of you that you can be. And if love comes in with that, hey, that's all even the better. But love itself is so important, you know. There you go. Tuesday is our power love day. Ooh, love power day. All right, what we got going on Wednesday? Well, on Wednesday, we still got that moon in Taurus. The moon's holding in Taurus for 3 days, or well, 2 days, 2.5 days. And on Wednesday, we've got our sun trine the moon. That's a very nice, powerful aspect. We got our sun conjunct Pluto. Ooh, that's very powerful. And the moon trine Pluto. What does that mean? Wednesday is our psychic power day. That's the day when you are at your height. The sun trine the moon brings in the inner world knowledge. It illuminates the psychic self. The sun conjunct Pluto opens up far distant vision, particularly prophetic vision. And then we've got our moon trine Pluto. Again, that's about looking ahead. It's about alignment with higher power. It's about partnership between you and the cosmos, your higher self. Ooh, I tell you, Wednesday, that is psychic power day. You never thought you had a psychic bone in your body. You do on Wednesday. So I would literally name it and claim it. All right. What are we doing on Wednesday? Psychic power day. You know, you guys have been thinking about your psychic sense. That some of you out there are saying, you know, Psychic Bob, I'm so glad for a psychic power day because I feel like I'm behind on that part of my life. What you need to do is join the psychic development class. Every Saturday at 12 o'clock, we do psychic development. And I would love to have you there. It's $30 for the class. This Saturday we're teaching. It's $30 for the class from 12 p.m. till 2 p.m. Now you can purchase the psychic development class at my website, okay? You'll go over there. You'll see $30. There's a little button. Just click on it. Put in your credit card. It's all secure and insured. And you'll be in the class. It'll send me a notice. I'll put you on the list. On Saturday, I'll send out link to you for those of you registered, and you can come into class. So I would love to have all of you at our psychic class. We work on message giving. We work on communing with those on the other side. We do so much stuff, you know. This Saturday, I think we're going to talk about seances. What it is to do a seance, what happens in seances, how to conduct a seance. Because a lot of the members of our class are starting to explore working professionally as psychics. Now, you don't have to be a professional psychic to join. You don't have to want to be a professional psychic. This class is made so that you can just enhance your own connection to spirit. Many of our classmates do want to make their lives as psychics, and the training does help that as well. So even if you've never done a psychic thing in your life, we set up these classes in a way that you can come and study and learn and from day one, you know. So I would love to have you there. Go over to Colabob's, Baroness Colabob's, just put in chat, PsychicBob.com for classes, readings, and astrology charts. Thank you. By the way, I am doing astrology charts. I have a little bit of a backlog now. But my astrology charts are not yet on my website. They're $45 a chart, and it's a natal chart. So if you want that, you need to send me an email with your birthday, your birth location, and your time. And I'll put together a chart for you, okay? Hi, Alicia Faye. Alicia Faye says, being around good others is important too. Sometimes the act of being present with others is healing. Thank you to all here. Well, thank you, Alicia. We're glad you're here with us. You know, we have a lot of fun. You know, we really are a family here, aren't we? And Alicia, I'm glad you're here. I love your pink hair, by the way. That looks really cool. Do you have your hair like that still? That's really awesome. So anyways, I got on a tangent as I often do. Wednesday is our psychic power day. You want to take advantage of that. All right, now going into Thursday of this week, we have a shift. Our moon is moving over into Gemini. What's that do? That opens up all that communication energy, that air energy, that partnership energy. Thursday's a shift. You're going to feel a lightness of being. However, let me tell you about some of our challenges. Now, Thursday, even though we have that Gemini word, we have a few challenges. We've got our moon square, we've got our sun conjunct Pluto. We've got our moon trine Mercury, which are all good. We've got our moon square Jupiter, which is good. And we got our moon conjunct Saturn and Venus trine Uranus. Okay. This is a day where you will be enhanced in your own personal charm ability. Okay. That moon moving into Gemini stimulates conversation and partnership. Thursday would be a very good day for any of you looking for work to try to do interviews, because with that moon trine Mercury, that gives you a sense of how to communicate and put your best self forward, okay? That moon square Jupiter, now squares are generally negative aspects, but when the planet of Jupiter is involved, it cancels out all negatives. So the moon square Jupiter means you'll have a real strong inner psychic connection that day. And Jupiter brings blessings and prosperity. We've got our moon conjunct Saturn, which means balance and communications. And we got Venus trine Uranus, which means sudden breakthrough and emotional rapport with people. Thursday is a great day to get connections going. If you need to, for example, make peace with a family member, try to speak to them on Thursday in a gentle way. If you want to do a business meeting, do it on Thursday. You can get people to really listen and be open to your side of things. If you got a job interview, you will charm them. They will think you're wonderful. Thursday's all about positive communications and charm. Your natural charm is enhanced by these alignments. And people who may have been closed to you will actually want to listen to you on Thursday. So Thursday is our power day for alignments, for meetings, all of that, you see. So Thursday is a powerful day. Now, the day if you want to say what's our most challenging day this week, it's going to be Friday. Now, don't let this scare you, because I always say when we have a day where the aspects are a little, take your breath away, don't panic. All right, just know what's up and we can work with it, okay? So on Friday, we still have that moon in Gemini, which brings out communication and partnerships. However, we have our moon in opposition to Mars. We've got our moon square Neptune and Mercury square Uranus. What does that mean? Well, that moon in opposition to Mars means that there's maybe people a little oversensitive, okay? Our moon square Neptune means that people may not be able to be on the same page. Like they may have a mental disconnect and feel like they're not connecting internally or with each other. And Mercury square Uranus means that people may act erratic or their speech may be less than genteel. So people may be a little rude, they may be oversensitive, they may be a little pushy. So with Friday, you've got to go into that day, as I say, proceed with caution, okay? People will be oversensitive and maybe a little challenging. If you can take a personal day off of work, if you have leave time and want to take a day off, I really think Friday would probably be a good day to take a day out of the office, because I'm not sure I'd want to be around a lot of people on Friday. Friday's a good day for solitary work, doing art, doing your paintings, doing writing. Let's make it more of a solitary day. Now, if you do have to interact with people, because I know realistically not everybody can skip out on the day, proceed with caution. Be very silent, observe rather than speak. It's not a good day to be talking. I definitely wouldn't say go settle a situation with your boss on Friday. People aren't listening, people aren't seeing. Communication may be challenging. So there's your caution. That's the only day this week that's really a a challenging day. So, hey, if we got one day out of 7 where we got some problems, that's not too bad. Okay. Steve Wells says, I've already used up all my days off. Oh, Steve, I'm sorry. Well, just proceed with caution, Steve. Don't get into arguments. If people start arguments, stay silent, honestly, because nothing you can say is going to persuade people. Not saying you, but anybody. It's just not a good day to resolve conflict. It's going to be more conflict, so try to be quiet if you can. Okay. All right. Lady Bree says, yay, Friday's my day off. All right. Well, Lady Bree, remember that these transits affect the whole world. So if you're off and you say, I'm going to go shopping today, well, be a little prepared. People might be challenging even in the stores, so, just keep that in mind. Even if you're not at the office, it could still be people pop up and be rude, like in the parking lot at the store and flick you off and try to ram your car. I'm not saying that'll happen. I'm just saying that's kind of the wonky energy of that day. All right. Alicia says Friday equals be alone day, and I'm totally cool with that. All right, there you go. I would say on Friday, if you do want to associate with people, don't try to organize a big luncheon or party. That won't work. But it might be good just if you have 1 or 2 close friends over. Like you could, Alicia, just have a friend over for a cup of tea in the afternoon. That would probably be okay because, we still have the moon in Gemini, which opens up friendship. But I'd say for people you're not close to or business situations, it's just not good for that. All right, so we're going to get through Friday. Remember, we're going into the weekend, so it's not that bad, right? So, as we say in astrology, forewarned is forearmed. All right, so what we got going on the weekend? When we get to Saturday, our moon is moving over into the sign of Cancer. And whenever the moon changes its sign, that brings in a real shift. I don't know if you guys are so sensitive, but I can tell a lot of times what the moon sign is for the day. Just when I wake up, I'm like, oh, I can feel it, So on moon going to Cancer, that's water energy. And that's going to make people feel, more sensitive, but also more psychic. So it's not always bad. Sometimes sensitivity can be oversensitive. Cancer tends to be an energy that is rather sensitive. However, this is the good part. Ooh, you're going to love this. On Saturday, we've got our moon trine Jupiter, and we've got Venus trine Uranus. This is another power day. Particularly, this is a day for love. I would say love and money. It's a power day for love because Venus trine Uranus means sudden breakthrough in love, relationships, emotional healing. Moon trine Jupiter means feel your way to success. If you get to make a business deal, get an offer for a job or a business, meeting or arrangement on Saturday, the secret to it is trust your inner voice. Moon trine Jupiter means you are open to knowing about money. You are open to receiving blessings and prosperity. And it means your inner life feels wholesome and full. Now, remember, the moon's in Cancer, opening psychism. Moon trine Jupiter means the planet Jupiter is working to connect with your inner self. You will have a good sense. Anything you want to do this week, like on a financial level, like let's say you want to check out if you can get a house loan or a bank loan for a car, or maybe you just want to talk to somebody who wants you to do a business deal with them. Saturday is a good day for that. You're going to be able to have good rapport with people and feel your way through it, okay? Now, that Venus trine Uranus can also mean that Jupiter influence is in the area of love. So it's hard to say because both are about equally powerful on Saturday. So feel your way to success in love and in money, okay? How does that sound? Steve says, must be windy. Yeah, do you hear the wind? We're going into an Arctic chill tonight. It's going to be down to single digits here in Alexandria. And it's moving and it's freezing, and that's the wind outside my windows. I live in a high rise. I'm okay, though. And thank God I got my big new blanket. I'm going to wrap up in that tonight, drink some cocoa, and Netflix and chill. All right. Now, going into Sunday, the end of the week. At least in astrology, it's the end of the week. Our moon is still in Cancer. We've got our sun again, conjunct Pluto. And the moon is in opposition to Venus. Now, what does all that mean? What this means is you're going to maybe on Sunday, this Sunday, feel a little confused because the sun conjunct Pluto gives you outer world vision. You can see kind of what's going on, how things are in motion. The moon in opposition to Venus means that you're also going to feel things very strongly on the inner side. So you might see something different in the outer world than what you're being told or what you're feeling on the inner world. Remember that moon in Cancer gives you power to go within. So if you're hearing something or seeing something differently than what you know to be true or what you believe, trust the inner voice on Sunday. This is a case of the inner world versus the outer world. What is the truth? Sunday may be a day where, remember that old saying, do as I say, not as I do, where it was kind of hypocritical. Like your parents would say, you better not be drinking beer, but then they turn around, open, drink a beer. And you're like, well, what should I drink beer? Should I not drink? What is that? This on Sunday says, go within, trust what you feel. It may not match with what you're seeing in the outer world. So that's how you're going to get through that. Okay. Lady Bree says, tartan jammies. Yeah, I do have some new jammies, new pajamas Cola got me. I got thermal tartan jammies. I'm going to wear those today with my blanket. I'm going to be good. I'll be sipping my tea. Actually, I might drink cocoa tonight. That might be good. Right now, I'm drinking tea. So there you go, guys. That is all of our 7 days, all right? So how you feel about that, okay? Now, if any of you want to, ask astrological questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Is our friend Levi still with us, or did he leave? Anybody see Levi? If you're here, we'll take your questions. I'll give Levi first dib at questions if you'd like to ask me something. As many of you here can see, I don't see anything evil about astrology. It's very scientific. We're studying the motions of the planet and the stars. God gave us 2 eyes. He wants us to see his creation. And if he speaks to us through it, that's even better, Robert says, I don't see Levi in the chat. I guess he got scared and left us. Well, maybe he'll come back, That's great. Kim says, well, I'm sending Levi love and blessings. Little Horn says, hi, Little Horn. Little Horn's question says, hi, Bob. What are good Wicca pagan books you would recommend for beginners? One of my favorites. Hold on, I'm going to go grab it. I have a copy sitting right over here on this table. This, hold on a second. Where'd my question go? Okay, I don't remember who asked the question. I'm sorry, I just lost your chat question. Anyways, whoever asked the question on a Wicca book, this is the first book I ever read on Wicca, and still to this day I use it and read it. Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner by Scott Cunningham. This will give you a good basis in the craft. It'll give you rituals that you can try, spells you can try. It will teach you the theory as well as the practice. Because, see, Wicca is a religion about practice as well as theory. We don't just study what Wiccans believe. We learn how to do what Wiccans do. So there you go, okay? I hope that helps. Yes, anything by him is good. There's another book also called Earth Power, which I do highly, highly recommend as well. Okay, so Earth Power is good, as well as Wicca. That'll get you started in exploring the craft. Little Horn, there you are. Yay, I recommend it. I'm telling you, you will love this book. You know, Scott Cunningham writes in a way it feels like he's just there talking with you. And he writes in a very casual way, so it's easy to relate to him and to what he's teaching, you know. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I saw some other questions. Hold on a second. Baroness Kolobob says, can you please tell me more about Uranus? It sounds so cool. Well, Uranus is the planet that is the ruling planet um, of Aquarius. Every zodiac sign has a planet associated with it. And so for Aquarius, it's Uranus. And Uranus is a giant blue planet. The name came from the ancient god Uranus in Greek. And Uranus was the sky father. And Uranus is, today in modern English we say Uranus, but the Greek is Uranus. And Uranus is a giant blue planet that looks like the sky, and it was believed to represent the sky father. And Uranus was wedded to Gaia, the Earth Mother. So it was the Earth Mother and the Sky Father. So it's a planet that actually has a ring around it, like Saturn. The ring was discovered just a few years ago. Nobody knew that Uranus or Uranus had a ring until recently. But it has a ring of ice crystals. It's a blue, airy, cold world of ice crystals. But it's a planet that in astrology affects extremes. It can be a good extreme or a bad extreme. So, like Uranus or Uranus would affect revolution. So, if you see that planet placed in a chart in a scary way or a negative aspect, it could mean extreme behavior such as violence or upheaval. Hold on a second. In the favorable light, that planet represents power to overcome obstacles and break through. I hope that helps. That's a good question. All right. Little Horn says I was going to buy that book. Thank you so much. I'll buy this book. I think it's wonderful. Yay. Oh, hold on, my chat's freezing up here. Aaron Patricia says, hi, Bob. Was there something up on Saturday astrologically? Everyone was in a funk, or was it just crazy? You know what? I don't have my alignments from last week. Hold on, I might have. I can tell you what was going on. I have all my alignments back here. Yeah, so what we had going on, what day did you say it was? Friday or Saturday? Saturday. Okay, so last Saturday, what we had going on was the moon moved over into Aries. That stimulated a lot of hyper energy. And we also had our sun conjunct Venus. So people were feeling rather emotional that day. Now, that day was a love power day where a lot of people were feeling excited about love and romance. But in the negative aspect, okay, the negative aspect is that people were feeling oversensitive as well. So I think that's what was going on. I encountered a few people who were like extreme behavior, you know? So that's what was happening last Saturday. God bless you. Thank you so much. Flying Light says Uranus is the planet of chaos. Haha, yes, it can be. Baroness Kolobob says, are you sure it's blue? Yeah, it's a blue planet. Yeah, it's a really beautiful blue, too. I recommend you look up pictures of it. David Jan said that they were feeling emotional on that Saturday as well. Yeah, that Aries energy is kind of tricky because it's a fire energy and it can come in and wreak havoc in some ways. But it can also be a time where you just like get breakthrough, you just get going, you're in a mood. Aries energy is interesting because Aries, whenever that Aries is aligned with the planet of Mars, And when that energy comes in, particularly in the moon sign, it can make you very stimulated, but it can also make you feel erratic. The good thing is that Aries energy doesn't last long. It goes out like a shooting star. It's like flaming bright and then it fades quickly. You know, Aries, you want to do stuff in the moon sign of Aries if you just need to get something going quickly. But if you need it to sustain, like get a fundraiser going, I wouldn't recommend Aries because the energy tends to peter out basically, and you don't want to put energy out that you can't sustain. That's a good question. Queen Nadine's here. Hey, Queen Nadine. She says, I'm an Aries. LOL. Now, being a natal Aries is different than a moon transit through Aries. As an Aries person, Aries people are they're very powerful. They have a lot of leadership energy. They can persuade people. A lot of celebrities are Aries because they're bigger than life type energy, and you're a female. As a female Aries, you have a lot of glamour around you, and so an Aries female would you'd be real. I bet you could do modeling or movies or TV. A lot of female Aries are very glam. They come across with a lot of influence and power. There's Little Horn says, I'm so happy to find your channel again, that you're doing live videos now. Yeah, I'm doing live every single day, Little Horn. Because I just want I can do it and I enjoy it. Technology's improved. We do every day at 7 p.m. Eastern, this time, like we're broadcasting, except on Tuesday and Thursday. Tomorrow, we're going to broadcast at 12 o'clock noon. We're going to do messages from the spirit world, so make sure to be here for that. And on Thursday, we go out around noontime and do a live vlog on the street. We might go to CVS this week. We might, who knows, we'll go somewhere fun, though. So join us on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 and every other day at 7 p.m. All right. All right. Flying Light has a good question. Flying Light says, can you tell me about what it means to have a planet in retrograde in your chart? What a retrograde planet is, Flying Light, is when we look at the astrology chart, right? Everything's in motion. It's spinning. But some planets move ahead of others because they have a more rapid movement, and it makes the planet that they pass appear astrologically like it's going backwards. Now, the planets don't actually go backwards, but from an astrology standpoint, it does give the appearance. A retrograde isn't necessarily anything bad, but it means that that planet's energy could be challenged in your chart. So if you had Jupiter going retrograde, you were born and it says Jupiter was in retrograde, that could point to, for example, that in your life you may have challenges, gaining success or money. Okay. If you had Mercury retrograde, that means problems in communication. Now, again, don't take that as like your whole life is fated to be poor if you have Jupiter retrograde. It can just mean that there will be times at which that is an issue in your life. But again, it doesn't mean that your life is destined to poverty. Because I heard an astrologer once on television, somebody was talking about, I think it was Jupiter retrograde. And they said, oh, well, you will never have money in life. You'll always be poor. You'll always struggle. And I actually looked at the chart there, and I was like, that doesn't say that, because they had other aspects in their chart which really showed that they would have some problems. They would move beyond it. So a retrograde can mean some challenges in the energies aligned with the planet. But again, that has to be looked at in the relation to the others. When I do astrology charts, I look at all the transits, and then I see how they balance out. Because one negative transit doesn't necessarily mean you're fated for a whole life of that energy. And that's where I think some astrologers make a mistake. Now, I don't want to criticize other people's work, but that's just how I do it, So, Lorraine Joy. Hi, Lorraine. Lorraine says, see you tomorrow, Bob. So good to see you. Thank you for coming, Lorraine. Blessings to you. Lady Bree says, I have Saturn in Aries. Now, Saturn, we call that the planet, the breaks of the zodiac. Saturn tends to bring things into a slower, it slows things down. Saturn can also deal with judgment or rules and regulations and education. And having Saturn and Aries actually would mean that you have a really good balance in your personality. Saturn means, like, Aries energy when it's unchecked can mean you become irrational and literally like mental and crazy. Having Saturn in that sign, because it's a fire sign, brings a lot of balance. It means you have a very even metered personality, I would say. So I think that's kind of good. Saturn in your sun sign, or well, I mean, if it's not your Saturn in Aries, can also point to power for education, meaning that Saturn is emphasizing education. Aries gives power to education. So it can mean both of those. So anyways, I hope that makes some sense. Yay. Lady Bree says, apparently our deaths are shown in our charts, and mine's a violet one. You know, Lady Bree, I'm hesitant to agree with that. I think sometimes that can be seen or hinted at, but I wouldn't say it's always a fated thing. Some astrologers will tell you that, but because they're looking at the 12th house, which deals with the endings of your life, and they're probably looking at the north and south nodes, which is our North Pole and South Pole. They're called the nodes or the poles in relation to the alignments. And I do believe we can see our past in our chart, in our destinies, our future karmic things. But remember, free will still comes into play. I'm not somebody who believes that everything is fated by astrology, because I say just because you have a transit showing something, I think you can overcome it or beat it. You know, and depending on what planets and alignments have, you may have an easier time or a harder time. But again, I still think human free will gives us power to overcome no matter what's in the chart. That's just me. Some astrologers are very fatalistic and will say it's in the chart just how it is. I don't know. I'm not so ready to go there, you know. Baroness Kolobobs asks a good question. Says, I have a lot of Venus in my chart. What does that mean? Venus deals with love of self. It deals with relationship with others. It deals with physical attractiveness as well as love of sensual pleasures, food, clothing, perfume, things that enhance our life. It means I have a lot of Venus, and again, I'd have to see where it's placed in the houses, but it really can indicate that you, you know, are a person who loves love, and you love people, and you put out your best form for people. You look attractive to people, and you enjoy finer things. You have an appreciation. So again, I can't just generalize. I'd have to really look at the chart, but in a general way, that's where that would lead me to believe. Flying Light says, I actually do have my Jupiter in retrograde. It's in Cancer and in the 9th house. Very interesting. I'd have to look at that. Jupiter in retrograde in Cancer, though, could mean that sometimes it can mean that you have a real strong sensitivity about financial issues, you know. And the 9th house, I got to remember, what is the 9th house? I'm blanking out here. Paula, what's the 9th house? I'm blanking out. It's not the ending. That's the 12th house. I would know this. I usually, today I'm blanking out. You know, my day off, my mind goes to Jello. I'm just blanking on the 9th house. I have to look that up. But anyways, that may mean that you have can either indicate a deep attachment to prosperity or anxiety around money in your life. And it means, like, because Cancer puts you in touch with the feelings, but it also can make you oversensitive. With a planet in retrograde, that can be a challenging aspect sometimes. Call Bob's, tell me what the 9th house is. I'm just blanking and I don't have my book here to check it, double check it. The houses are all very interesting because they show major trends in life and like patterns and timelines of our lives, you know. Kim Osborne says, why have I always felt a connection to the Orion star system? Well, you know, Kim, it could be a lot of things. It may be that, you know, that you have a past life connected to those stars. You've literally lived around those star systems. It could also be that you were around like in ancient Babylon, and Orion's star system was noted in the sky. You could have been an astrologer, and that was a powerful symbol that meant something to you. Sometimes we just like stuff because intuitively we know that it gives us power. Little Horn was asking earlier about Wiccan books, and I was saying Earth Power by Scott Cunningham is a good book. They have a chapter in that book on star power. He talks about how to draw power from the stars. And so in a past life, you may have done magical work and worked energy with the Orion star system as well. So it could be a lot of things. But if you feel it and you like it, go with it. You might want to get that book, Earth Power, and learn how to work with the energy of the stars. Like Scott Cunningham says, you can go out and claim a star as your star. You might go out every night and see a constellation or a sudden star and say, I really feel connected to that. So claim that star. What did we say earlier? Name it and claim it. So Kim, name it and claim it. Name and claim the Orion constellation for yourself and start working with it. One of the things in Wicca that we do is we say we're not hapless victims. Wicca says you can take power from the cosmos and change your life. You can gain power from alignment with the gods and the energy of all that exists. Everything has life force, Little Horn says, how would I tell what's in my chart? Well, you'd have to have an astrologer cast your chart. I do astrology charts, so I could do that and tell you what all's going on in your chart. So if you want to do that, you have to send me an email. Okay. Kim Osborne says, I will name it and claim it. There you go. Hi, Honey Drizzle. Good to see you. Welcome. Well, we're getting ready to end tonight, guys. Listen, thank you for your questions. I hope this has been fun for you. I've enjoyed it, but it's my night off. And now it's time for me to get in my new jammies, wrap up in my blanket, sip some cocoa and Netflix and chill. And I hope you guys are going to have a good night as well. But I really want to say thank you to all of you for coming out tonight. Make sure to be here tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon. And we're going to do messages from the Spirit World live stream. And I'll take your psychic chat questions. Thank you to those of you who donated tonight. Blessings to all of you. So, as I always say, and hear this before you go, if you are at a time of struggle in your life, do not give in to despair. Remember that the wheel of the zodiac is above us at all times and spinning. And that brings new alignments for energy and power into our lives every day. So find your lucky star, like Kim Osborne is, claim it and bring that power into your life, and you will be renewed. Keep faith, hope, and love in your hearts, and you're sure to make it. You guys rock. I love all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Baroness Kolobobs for her moderating tonight. Let's all give a thumbs up for her as well. Thank you. You guys rock. Little Horn, thank you for being here. Little Horn says, thank you so much for oops, I just lost it. Thank you so much for everything. Hope to see you again tomorrow. I'll catch you at my lunch break. Awesome, Little Horn. We'll see you then. Remember, Little Horn, Tuesdays and Thursdays at noontime Eastern, 12 o'clock Eastern time, lunchtime. The rest of the day is 7 p.m. So that's, hopefully you can keep that in your mind. Love you guys. Blessed be, and may the stars bless all of you. And may you have a wonderful night. Thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow for messages from the spirit world, 12 o'clock noon Eastern. Be here. Don't miss out.